All right, welcome back. And this question paper is a KZN question paper that was written in June. So let's start. Question 1. In the diagram, R is got set of coordinates, W also this set of coordinates, T has got this set of coordinates, and K, its coordinates are unknown. And we are told that R the vertices of a quadrilateral RWTK. So these coordinates which we have been provided, they are coordinates to a what? To a quadrilateral. So let's begin. On 1.1 they say determine the coordinates of M, the midpoint of line RT. So this line RT here, there is an invisible line, so let's draw it. Here, line RT, we are told that it has got a midpoint, whereby now we know that this side is equal to that side. So they want us to give the midpoint, the coordinates of the midpoint, which we shall call M. And what do we know about that? Oh no. What do we know about midpoint? We know that on our midpoint, we will now say we use the midpoint formula. So we say midpoint of line RT is equal to my exit point R is -5 plus my exit point T is 6 divided by 2. My y8 point R is 3 plus my y8 point T is 6 divided by 2, like that. And -5 plus 6 is equals to 1, so I've got 1 over 2 here, and 6 plus 3 is equals to 9, so I've got 9 over 2 there. And this is my final answer for midpoint RT. However, note that where there is the midpoint, we're told that we must call it point M. So we say therefore M and its coordinates are half and 9 over 2. And when we've done this, we've completed and we fetch our 3 marks. Next question says calculate the gradient of WT. This line of WT, we need its gradient, and we are going to use our gradient formula, whereby we now say that the gradient of line WT, the gradient of line WT is equal to, now I want my y8 point T, which is 6, so it's 6 minus my y8 point W is 0 all over my exit point T is 6 minus my exit point W is -3, like that. Now 6 minus 0 is equals to 6 over negative times negative, that's a positive, and 6 plus 3 is equals to 9, which is equals to, when I divide by 3 on both sides, what do I have? 6 divided by 3 is equals to 2 over 3, 9 divided by 3, which is equals to 3. So therefore I can conclude that the gradient of line WT is equals to 2/3, right? Done. Now they say that on the next question, prove that RW is perpendicular to WT. So they're saying that I must prove that RW is perpendicular to WT. And what do I know? I know that if these two are perpendicular lines, RW and WT, I will say that the gradient of which line? I will say that the gradient of RW, when I multiply it by the gradient of WT, they must give me a product of -1. So what is the gradient of line RW? I haven't calculated for that. So what am I going to do? Now I calculate and I say that gradient of, oh, actually I don't have to calculate for it, because remember, I just found out that the gradient of line WT is equals to 2/3. So now I say the gradient of line RW multiplied by, oh, but in this case I have to find it. Let me find it. I'll tell you why. I will say that gradient of RW is equal to my y at W is 0 minus my y at R, which is 3, all over my x at W is -3 minus my x at R is -5. 0 minus 3 is equals to -3 over negative times negative, which is a positive. So I've got -3 plus 5 here, right? And which is equal to what? -3 here all over -3 plus 5 is equals to 2. So I've got -3 over 2. Now when I say gradient of RW, -3 over 2 multiplied by the gradient of WT, which is 2 over 3. 2 cancels out that 2 and 3 cancels out that 3. So I've got -1 here multiplied by this +1, which gives me a -1. So therefore I can conclude that line line RW is indeed perpendicular to line WT. Why? Because I found a product of -1, and then I fetch my 3 marks, just like that. Now we go to the last question, which says that if RWTK is a parallelogram, we're being told that if it is a parallelogram, determine the values of A and B. We must determine the values of A and B, which are coordinates of K. So what do we know? We know that if this is to be a parallelogram, then it will share what? It will share the midpoints, meaning to say that here, this line MK here, its coordinates for the midpoint are identical to the coordinates of the midpoint of line RT. So if we're looking for this, we're now going to utilize what? We're going to utilize the midpoint formula. So now remember on point M, we were told that its coordinates are what? We calculated, we were not told, we calculated and we found that we had X, which is half, and Y, which is -9/2 rather. So now I'm going to say that in order for me to find these coordinates of AB, I'm now going to take this X of the midpoint. Now I say 1/2 here is equal to my X at point W is -3 plus my X at point K is A divided by 2. Now I need to get rid of these two denominators. So I come and I multiply by what? I multiply by 2 this side, and I've got -3 plus A divided by 2. I come and I multiply by 2 on the other side. I've got 1/2 there. Now this 2 cancels out that 2, right? Now I need to get rid of this 2, so I multiply by 2 on the left hand side, and I go and I multiply by 2 on the right hand side. This 2 cancels out that 2. So 1 times 2 is equals to 2, which is equals to, now positive multiplied by this negative, it's a -3 times 2 is equals to 6, and positive times positive, it's a +2 times A, that is 2A. I now transpose this -6, it becomes positive, so I've got 6 plus 2, which is equal to 2A. Now I divide by 2 on both sides. 6 plus 2 is equals to 8. So basically I'm saying 8 divided by 2. So 2 into 2 is 1. So therefore I conclude that A is equals to 6 plus 2, 8 divided by 2 is equals to 4. So I found the coordinate for point K, the X coordinate is equal to 4. Then I take the Y coordinate here. Now I say 9/2 is equals to my Y at point W is 0 plus my Y at point K is B divided by 2. I need to get rid of these two denominators, so I come here and I multiply by 2. I place 0 plus B inside the brackets. All over 2 is equal to, these 2 I need to get rid of it. I multiply by it on the other side, and I've got 9/2. These 2 cancels out that 2. Now I need to get rid of these 2, so I multiply by 2 this side, I multiply by 2 on the other side. These 2 cancels out that 2. Now I've got 9 times 2, which is equal to 18, which is equals to 2 multiplied by 0, that's 0. 2 multiplied by B, so I write 2B. Now I divide by 2, I divide by 2. 2 into 2, that's B. So therefore I've got B, which is equals to 18 divided by 2 is equals to 9. B is equals to 9. But remember, they said I must determine the coordinates of point K. So I come here and I say, therefore, on point K, my X coordinate is 4 and my Y coordinate is 9. I have answered them. Then I get my 4 marks, just like that. All right. So if you found this video to be helpful, please do consider subscribing, commenting, and sharing. On the next paper, it is going to be the last video which deals with analytical geometry. And I've chosen that quite particular question paper because I will be dealing with a triangle. They will need me to find area. Believe me, they want you to calculate for area using analytical geometry skills. So you don't want to miss out that paper. Please, let's meet on the next video. Cheers.